Greetings, weary travelers, fellow story gremlins, and now, subjects to the newly appointed Sleepover Gremlin Queen. Yes, gather ye round, gaze upon my beauty. Welcome to, or welcome back to the Reaction Sleepover. This is the series where we get cozy and we react to stuff. We just got one big juicy story today by the lovely Jen. And I told them, this story's long enough I could probably do an entire video with just this. So here we are. Be sure to grab your cozies and snackies, and let's dive in, peasants. Bridezilla in full force. The never-ending wedding invite nightmare. Oh, the title alone. Oh, and if you have any stories you'd like to share, wedding or otherwise, you can either email me or there's links in the description. Sacrifice to your gremlin sweepover queen. She demands tribute. So I, Jenny, work at a small wedding invitation design company with my friend Shayna. That's such a pretty name. Like spelled that way too? Shayna? Cute! We specialize in creating beautiful, personalized invites that include custom caricatures of the couples. Caricatures? That's so fun! Oh, I wish I booked you for my wedding invites. I still could. Surprise everyone, we're getting married again. Honestly though, some people probably would like that because we had a COVID wedding, so it was real small. The wedding was on brand. Do you do other commissions? Because I would love to see a caricature of PocoMuses. Let me know. Thanks. Love you. Bye. People love our work, and honestly, it's been a joy to see how happy our designs make couples until Sarah walked through our virtual doors. I'm here, peasants! Coming in like the guy from Spy Kids. From the beginning, Sarah had a vision. Fair enough, every bride wants her special day to be perfect, right? But with Sarah, perfect is this ever-shifting target that none of us can hit, no matter how hard we try. Great. Let me tell you, this woman's audacity knows no bounds. Great! I love the way you tell stories. Round 1. We are suddenly in WWE. I'm sure it felt like it. WWE designed like wedding shop. It'd probably be a really good stress reliever. We start with the design after a long consult where she's very clear, or so we thought, about what she wants. She just straight up gaslights you. I want pink. Okay, what do you— I didn't say pink, I said blue. This wedding's a boy. We spend hours crafting it, taking every little detail she mentioned into account. But when we send her the draft, she replies with this pathetic email full of complaints. Suddenly, everything's wrong. The colors, the font, even the caricature style that she had been so excited about in the first place. And you know, like the benefit of the doubt in me is like, people can change their mind, and that's not necessarily a problem. But that absolutely would be frustrating, and like you say in the next sentence, fine, we think. It's her wedding, we'll make the changes. Definitely depends on what the tone of the email was. Round 2. The sound design. I got John Cena blasting in my head. Shayna, my designer friend, and I put together a few hours redoing the design, tweaking every element Sarah's complained about and getting a new caricature illustration to match her updated vibe. When we send in the new draft, we're expecting maybe some minor edits. But no, I'm exhausted for you. Sarah's decided she wants an entirely different look now. The colors are suddenly too dull and the caricature is now too playful. Oh man. And again, it's like, weddings are really stressful, and I want to feel for her there, like if she's just really having a hard time. Like, having a hard time figuring out your design, that in itself is fine. But if you cross into the realm of mistreating and being rude to, which there's a whole bunch of more text. It seems like there may be some rudeness going on here. But yeah, like if you cross into that, it's like, okay, like please check in. Just because you're frustrated doesn't mean you get to mistreat other people. Okay? Okay. Or I'll lay the smack down. Lovingly, in the form of a gentle hug to say, it's okay to struggle, but boundaries. At this point, Shayna is ready to pull her hair out and I'm exhausted. But we keep going because we're professionals, and let's be honest, we still want to get paid. Oh, would you get paid more for having to redesign stuff? How the story may be going, maybe not, as I'm realizing. I don't know why I'm doing this with my hand. I'm just trying to send good vibes and healing towards her so she stops taking her frustrations out on other people. I put a spell on you to be kind. Speaking of which, not once has Sarah even hinted that she's willing to cover the extra time and work this is costing us. I hope this was a lesson in including that in the contract, if you have not already. Also, how recent was this? I'll probably ask. Unless you're watching now, which, hello! Tell me. Round 3, yet another design. Oh, that's gotta be so hard. After we painstakingly create her third design from scratch, we're feeling cautiously optimistic. Sarah's been approving each individual change over email. Good. So surely this time we're on the right track. But of course, oh no. I laugh to cover the pain. She swoops back in with a whole new list of demands. Again. Apparently now the colors clash with their decor, and the caricature looks too serious. Goodbye, voice said, don't need you anyway, I can't take this anymore. And again, making changes. Why does my mouth feel so weird when I say that? Changes. Sorry. Sorry, my throat is not feeling silky. More like sandpaper. Ugh. What is my body doing? Just allergic to the nonsense, I guess. Anyway, what was I saying? It's not a bad thing to want to make changes. And we don't know how much she was trying to like keep her vendors in mind. But as it seems that she is not doing that with these poor vendors and just keeps making changes on the fly. And then this last sentence, she even has the nerve to suggest we just add in her new changes because, in her words, I'm sure it won't take you long. That's not only seeming like she's not trying to be mindful of them, but is also just disregarding the artistic process. Like, sure, some pieces take less time than others, but like a whole caricature? I mean, you know, you see caricature artists, they can go pretty quick, but like as OP is showing, like they put a lot of work into it. Like we said towards the beginning, like it is her day. Like we want to make her happy, but it's like with the caricature, for example, going from too playful to now too serious. Oh man, that's hard. Her tone throughout has been incredibly demeaning, treating us like we're her personal on-call designers with nothing better to do than to cater to her every whim. Yeah, that stinks that she's treating you like that. Intended or not. Intent does not discount impact. And I will say, like other than the like, I'm sure it won't take you long kind of seems to be like snide quip, it's like, she hasn't done anything like too bad yet. Like she hasn't like cursed you out or anything. So it's like that little bit of me, I'm like, maybe she's just incredibly stressed as like, yeah, the weddings are. I want to give benefit of the doubt. I want to believe. The final straw, approaching the deadline. I just pictured, you know, along the WWE image, just a piece of straw. She's just smacking you with it. We're now ridiculously close to her wedding day, and she still hasn't settled on a design. She also needs the invites printed, but we can't print anything until she approves a final version. Time is running out, and yet every time we send her a draft, she's back with a fresh list of changes that are frankly nowhere near what she initially requested. And again, it's not like she's necessarily like done or said anything that's particularly like overly rude, but it's like respecting, oh, this is a good way to put it, respecting the vendor's time, because it's like, this is a service you are paying for, and yes, you are paying them to do a service, but if you can't make up your mind to do it, you're just wasting their time, and that's not respectful. Again, whether intended or not. Because like, yes, again, you're paying them to do a service, but that, as OP says, like, we're not your on-call designers. If you want an on-call designer like that, and maybe that would have been better for her. Shanna has started saying she's about a hair's breadth away from telling Sarah to find someone else. Just so close. And honestly, I wouldn't blame her. The kicker? Oh no. Despite all this extra work, she refuses to even discuss paying extra. Why? Again, respecting the vendor's time, resources, energy, and resources do fall under energy too. And that, like, with how cool this business sounds, I'm sure that she's not the only client. Like, they probably have other clients to work with. Like, simply going from more time equals more, like, you must pay more, that should be a given. So that's my benefit of the doubt slowly slipping from me. Because that is disrespectful, like, 100%, regardless of the intent, which seems to be may not be the best. She actually had the audacity to say, well, isn't this what I'm paying you for? As if we're obligated to keep turning out endless designs without any compensation for our time and effort. And, okay, maybe, I'm trying so hard, somehow does not understand if that sentence is not meant to be condescending. And if she somehow doesn't understand that, like, more time should equal more pay, that would be fascinating. I'd be confused at how she would not, like, genuinely not understand that. But that is me probably trying to stretch it because she may understand that, like, if she works herself, it's like, yeah, more time, more money. I think that's the unfortunate thing when it comes to like artistry, like in the wedding world and just in the art world in general. Like, let me pay you in experience. Like that kind of thing, or just it not being valued as much, and so people don't think that they need to pay more when it's like, no, like this is still time and energy I'm spending like any other job. So here we are with this never-ending project that's eaten up hours of our time, drained our creative energy, and left us questioning why we even got into this line of work in the first place. Oh, no. Please let all the other beautiful projects you've gotten to do with other people remind you of why. Please don't let her ruin it. By the way that OP's talking, I'm guessing this is like somewhat recent. When was this posted? Less than a month ago, so this must be very recent. No, you're doing great. It's okay. That's the thing. When people seem to be entitled to things like this, I do like to think that this is not like the norm. I think it seems like there's a lot because people are just telling more stories about experiences like this, but I'd like to think that most people are understanding of like, yeah, more work, more pay. Because for example, as much as we all come across people like that who are not being their best selves, we have the professionals trying so hard to remain professional, and kudos to you for doing your best, because this must be so frustrating. It's like no matter what we do, Sarah's never satisfied, but she sure doesn't mind asking for more. And it's not just the changes. Her attitude, her tone, everything about this partnership has been exhausting. Ugh, that stinks. Because I want to hope in the goodness in people, I hope she reflects upon this, assuming it's not still ongoing, and that she learns that it's not okay to be disrespectful to vendors' time and energy. Learns to be better. I have no idea how this will end, but right now I think we're just praying for the patience to get through this ordeal without letting loose a well-deserved FU and calling it quits. Oh man. Oh, I just glimpsed at the rest of it. It is, so they did have a resolution. Let's see what it was. I'm like praying for every chance that the bride can rise to the occasion. Please. Update. More clarity on our Bridezilla saga. Just wanted to clarify a few things to give you all a better picture of how we've handled this so far. Contract boundaries. We do have a contract that states clients gets up to 3 edits, with anything extra being changeable. This is clearly communicated to Sarah, but she seems to think chargeable only applies to when she decides it does. And that, unfortunately, is not how that works. Like, when you work with a vendor, you have to be aware and comply with what they have in their contract. 50% upfront policy. We collected a 50% upfront payment. Plus, she's billed for each additional design and caricature request, all of which we've shared with heavy watermarks. Removing those would be near impossible without paying up. Yeah, it's smart. That's why watermarks are a thing. Printing and shipping. We also handle printing and shipping. Honestly, considering the higher printing costs where she lives, she'd save money sticking with us instead of attempting to reproduce it on her own. Money isn't an issue? ? This is the real kicker. She's told us over calls that money isn't an issue, but the tune changes in text where she avoids every mention of extra charges. It's like dealing with 2 different people. Whoa, that's so weird. That is so fascinating that over the phone, she's like, money's not an issue, and like, yeah, fine. But then over text, it's a different story? That must be so weird. Update. Competitive market struggles and Sarah's latest demand. Hey everyone, just a little more context here. We're based in India, where the market is so competitive that we basically charge dirt prices. Imagine competing with a 1.4 billion people. This makes dealing with someone like Sarah all the more exhausting. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I get making changes. I really do. And like the stress of the wedding can really be impacting like what you want, like changing your mind from what you thought you want. But like as much as you are able, factor in respecting vendors' time because they are still people. And yeah, like I'm sure you have other people to work with, like I said. Although she lives in another country and still expects our prices to be as per Indian currency and market. Oh, interesting. Reading that makes me wonder how much like she's trying to push that. Like, let's assume she's in the US. We don't know, but we know that she lives in another country. So regardless of where she's at, that's a thing. Maybe she's trying to do a sneaky and try to like pay less. So here's the latest. Exhausted for you. Sarah came back saying she wants both designs. Both. She's already paid for one, but expects us to send both watermark free. Without paying for the extra one? Again, this is coming down to respect of respect to the vendor, respect of the craft, respect to... Where's the respect? Where has it gone? God, what have you done? And now she's decided she doesn't want the prince anymore. Okay, which honestly, we're pretty relieved about. Like, I'm sure you got other people that are much nicer to work with. We've clearly told her to pay the remaining balance if she wants both designs. As is, like, why is that not acceptable? If she doesn't, we'll gladly end things here and let her find someone else for her next round of demands. And we don't know how much you, like, if this is word for word or if you said it to her in a different way, but it sounds like you did your best. Like, kudos to you for still remaining, like, professional. Because, oh, that'd be hard to do, I'm sure. Again, we're sharing the story just for laughs and as a way to commiserate with others who have dealt with their own version of bridezillas. We're fairly new to the business, so we're chalking this up as to a lesson, learn to tighten up our contracts moving forward. Yeah, and that's good. And that's what's unfortunate. Like, I do like to think there is good in everybody. And like, when people act like this, there's just something going on that is causing them to act this way. And that can be valid. And it's still unacceptable to treat other people this way, especially when you are paying them for a service. That's a funny thing about, like, you know, them sharing this, like, oh, like, we want to commiserate with other people, because this stuff happens, like, wedding or not. Sometimes people be stinky. And you just, like, I kind of love that human behavior too, where it's like, you have to share. It's like, how did this just happen? I find that very cool about humans. I do consider the written word to be, like, artistic. And so, like, you writing all this out, it's like you are sharing another piece of art with us, with stories. I've been talking a lot lately that, like, humans have always loved stories. Even when we were all cave people, we were drawing pictures on the walls. There was even, this is really fascinating, there was even, like, an analysis somewhat recently about, like, how they drew, I think it was like a buck, and just how delicate the details were. That was done with rocks. That, like, just really goes to show we've always had a special place in our heart for stories and the way it can connect people and the way it can teach lessons and all that. Anyway, let me stop getting so mushy and continue this. Expect one final update soon on how all this wraps up. Thanks so much for the support and advice along the way. Oh boy, I read the first sentence. All right, buckle up. Final update. Bridezilla bags the refund, but not without a parting gift. That gives me bag of poop set on fire by the door kind of vibes, and I don't like it. All right, buckle up, because the saga has reached a chef's kiss ending. I'm so excited and so scared. After all the back and forth, Sarah's decided she won't be paying a rupee more. Oh, that's the currency. Paying a rupee more. Why? Apparently, we weren't transparent enough. We weren't transparent enough? Even though we handed her detailed pricing for every single piece of her design demands. And, as we half expected, she now wants out, demanding every last bit of her money back, despite the contract, and threatening to take us to consumer court over a measly amount in rupees. Did I mention she earns in a currency that would make the sum look like pocket change? You even have the receipts. And yet the gaslighting continues. The attempted gaslighting, excuse me, because you are handling this well, because you're like, no, we gave you plenty of details. We are sorry this didn't work out for you, but this is unacceptable behavior. So she sends this novel of a message with all this drama about how we've disappointed her and how we've ruined her special day. I get the stress. The stress is so valid. It does not excuse stinky behavior. It's like I said, at the end of the day, these are still other people who are doing a job that you should be paying for. If she genuinely thinks they haven't been transparent with her, I'd be curious to know how, because it sounds like they have not only given her all the details of every, like, change, every detail, but they've tried so hard to meet the demands. And that we shouldn't do this to other brides on their once-in-a-lifetime day, although given her demands, we can't help but wonder how long that's gonna last. For someone this close to her wedding day, she sure found plenty of time to draft an essay. Good point. Now, our contract is as clear as day as non-refundability, but there's only so much we can do to reason with bridezillas like her when she's on a warpath over the measly amount. Again, we're a new business and we don't need that grief. Like, sure, technically speaking, you can choose to act like this, but at that point, the business can choose to discontinue working with you. That's not necessarily what happened here. Like, she discontinued the work with them, but, like, you can't just... There's always consequences, whether good or bad. There are consequences to our actions and the way we talk to people. all of that. So after a group eye roll, we've decided to give Sarah and her fiance a farewell gift by returning the cursed money. That was very kind of you. Consider a very small fee to just never hear from her again, but we've made it very clear to her. If she uses any of our designs after all the mindless arguing she's been doing with our team, we won't hesitate to take her to court. Because yeah, that's at that point, that's theft of service. And for a groom, we're throwing in a discount for his next wedding because let's face it, anyone who's putting up with this needs all the sympathy and discounts he can get. Whew, that's spicy. I do hope if they do stay together, that if this kind of behavior carries over to their relationship, that they can work through it and be happy, or if them being happy means separating, because sometimes that has to happen and that's okay. Whatever's gonna help the healing process. Oh, and guess what? She hasn't even responded to our last message asking for her bank details to refund the money. Shockingly, it seems finding another designer hasn't been as easy as she'd hoped. Karma working its magic, perhaps? I mean, at that point, she may just need to design it herself, which is like, who knows how like artistically inclined or how confident she feels in designing something herself. But it's like at some point, like if you are that picky, you can design it yourself. You can avoid all of this. Shanna and I have been laughing about this for days. This ordeal has practically become our office comedy special. We got so many inside jokes now, it's almost worth the hassle. Almost. And this last bit is what I've been saying. Weddings are stressful, sure, but it's a whole new level of a-hole to offload the stress on the people bending backward to accommodate every whim and wish you've got. So, what have we learned? What have we learned? Tighter contracts, full payment before any further edits, and, maybe most importantly, the ability to spot the red flags from a mile away. Thank you everyone for the laughs, the support, and the advice. It's been hilarious to share the Bridezilla horror story, and though she technically won this battle, we know who came out on top here. Home Skillet! A literal saga. Why do people gotta be turds? I wonder, given that you are in a different country, if she tried to pull a fast one on you. I don't know. I really do wish the best for her. I certainly wish the best for you. That, like you said, like even though situations like this are really lame, they can teach to do things differently, to do things that protect you, like personally, as well as your business, but especially yourself. Because like, you know, this kind of business requires you to be artistic, requires you to be able to show up in that regard. And it's a shame that she was taking advantage of that for whatever reason. Bro, I'm exhausted just reading that. But what an ordeal. Sending you all of the hugs. And again, huge thank you to letting me read this. What's the lethal combo? Give Amanda a long story, and she will never shut up. But I like that. I think it's fun. Plus, you're the one watching. So anyway, thank you so much for letting me read that, and thank you all of you for being here, as always. Hope you enjoyed this wild ride that indeed was a wild ride. I hope you're doing well, but if not, I hope this video has brightened your day at least a little bit. That will be it. If you have any stories, wedding or otherwise, you'd like to share, you think it'd be fun for me to read, you can either email me or there's links in the description. And please go give Jen some love. Like, that's just crazy circumstances. When you have something happen in your life and you're like, how did this just happen? Did this really happen? Sending love and healing to everybody in this story. Good glory. But good job for still remaining professional, because I'm sure that can be difficult to do. So that will be it. Thank you all for joining. Again, huge thank you to all of you. I'm so glad you're here and support the channel. I really can't tell you how much it means to me. Until next time, gremlins, that your queen requires tribute in the form of your time. Readings. I hit my chair. Get out of my way. I'm probably still gonna hit it. And it's gonna hit the desk back. Deep breath, everybody, as we dive into the pit. Am I crazy or is the bride? This is a really long post, but I need to get this off my chest. If this is the wrong subreddit, let me know. My friend, Emma, who was about to blaspheme my best friend's name.
All right, that's it. Dishonor.
Asked me to be in her wedding years ago and just got married last month, and it was a poop show. Ugh, imagine a poop show. You know what your dog does for you every morning? Somehow makes him into a sculpture. I'm sorry, I'm gonna discontinue this joke. It has me wondering why I even asked to be there. I have known her for almost 7 years. We met in college our freshman year. We were super close till she started dating her now husband, Alan. Alan! Second semester of college. Oh, I just processed that. Has me wondering why I was even there. I was even asked to be there. Oof. Alan, Emma, and I all lived on the same floor in college and had all a really good friendship until they started dating. Oh no, not the third wheel. Alan did try to hit on me before they started dating. Oh, so it's that kind of awkward. Before they started dating, but he wasn't my type, so it didn't go anywhere. Oh no. I'm I'm concerned that this is gonna go a certain direction. That has to do with insecurity. I hope not. That would be such a bummer if it's like you're not actually doing anything wrong and if the bride is just like insecure about her relationship. Like, no, pay attention to you two. Everyone else is outside the bubble. Outside the Glinda bubble. Where was I? On a whole tangent there. After they started dating, our lives went in very separate directions and we didn't keep in touch, even though we lived on the same campus. Which, that's fine. That happens. It's okay. Occasionally we would hang out, like once a year, but that was the extent of it. Emma and Alan graduated in 2021 and got engaged the same day they graduated. That's sweet. I heard they had a graduation. Sorry, they just had like as they're throwing up the hats, he throws up the ring and he's like, oh no. She's like, you fool!
You fools.
Ends up hitting someone in the eye. Or you do a Frodo. It lands on someone's finger. You're like, oh, I'm engaged! Who too? I hope my corny jokes are appreciated. It's really just a bunch of rabid squirrels in my brain, at all times. I heard they had a graduation/engagement party, but I was not invited. Wah wah. I found out they got engaged on Facebook, which is fine considering we weren't that close anymore. They moved 3.5 hours away. Why did I say it like that? I could have said 3.5. Why did I say 3.5? Joke's on you, I've been a robot this whole time. I'm just very convincing. Graduated the following year in 2022 and moved closer to where they had moved after graduating, about a 30-minute drive. I was new to the area, so I thought I would reconnect with them, and that's when Emma asked me to be in their bridal party. That'd be kind of a shock. I know I would be. You never know. Maybe she was feeling nostalgic and she wanted to reconnect with you. That's always a possibility, but it still would be like a little bit of whiplash, like, huh? You sure? I figured it was just as a bridesmaid since we hadn't been very great friends for 4 years. Emma and I stayed in touch and started to form a stronger friendship, but still not a very close friendship. We talked about just the basic stuff, nothing too personal. Emma just starts like going off randomly about like how our latest bathroom trip went. I don't know what the poop jokes are about. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. This is what you're here for. About a year later, I got engaged in September of 2023. Woo! Emma and I had plans to meet up at her house 2 weeks after I got engaged, and that's when I told her that I got engaged. Not even 5 minutes after I told her, she asked me to be the maid of honor in her wedding. Time and place. I mean, it could make sense to, like, you're talking about wedding stuff. That could have been like, oh, that reminds me, blah, blah, will you be my maid of honor? You never know. Oh, we going from bridesmaid to maid of honor. Yeah, a little bit. I don't know why I can't process very well today. I think that would feel a little weird. Just in the next step of like, it's a little odd, but all right. Now to finish the sentence, which upset me a little because I just got engaged. Yeah, like I could see where it could make sense for it to just be talked about because like you're talking about wedding stuff, but that's giving the benefit of the doubt because that feeling totally understandable. As we always say, the feelings are valid. Like it would be a little bit of a bummer to be like, I got engaged, and then a person just like, Anyway, do you want to be my maid of honor? Assuming that's how it went. Who knows? As the conversation went on, I told her that I was going to get married in about 10 months. She started making comments about me getting married before her and made sure that Alan heard the comments she was making. Okay. Imagine he's like across the room, he's in the bathroom, and she's like, hey, Alan!
Alan!
She's getting married before us! And he's like, okay. Make this a drinking game. Take a shot every time I mention something regarding the bathroom. And then you'll probably have to go to the bathroom quite soon. I love how I choose to spend my time. I asked about her bridal shower and bachelorette party. She said that her matron of honor really wanted to plan those, so I didn't have to worry about it. Okay. In January, man, we have like seasons of updates. We get the fall, we get the winter. I'm excited for spring and summer, just like Avatar. In January, Emma informed me that her matron of honor, Kayla, was pregnant and wouldn't be able to be in the wedding. I hope that's not the case of she took her out of the wedding like simply because she was pregnant. Because unless it is like, every pregnancy is different. If it's genuinely harder to like be in a wedding while you're pregnant and then they made like a joint decision there, totally understandable. But I hope this is not, it's not a dear bride, it's being rude. I hope this was mutual. So she asked me to be the matron of honor since I would be married by the time she is getting married. Fair enough. I also live closer than any of our other bridesmaids. Fair enough. I told her I would be happy to be the matron of honor, but I wouldn't have time to plan a bridal shower or bachelorette till after I was done with my wedding. I mean, that's pretty reasonable, especially going from Like, you don't have to do any of this, to like, can you do all of it? Which, with enough time, that's fine. And that's why OP, I'm assuming, is trying to be fair and be like, hey, I can, but after. She seemed okay with that, and I still met up with her a few times before my wedding so I could ask general questions about what she wanted. She said she didn't really care about the details as long as it got done. All right, we're going horse riding. And then skydiving. I actually would love to go skydiving at some point, but I'd love to have a professional attached to me. I do not trust myself. Again, I told her that I was just getting my general ideas and would be putting things into concrete and— wait, huh? Can I read? Again, I told her that I was just getting general ideas and would be putting things into concrete until I could talk. The typos! Till I could talk to the other bridesmaids until after my wedding. During these times that her and I would meet up, if Alan was around, he would make comments about me not asking Emma to be in the bridal party for my wedding. Alan! Excuse me. And that she should be. Alan? Emma would tell him to stop making these comments, but he would bring it up next time he would see me. Really, dude? And I get it would be a little awkward, but like, why are you just being like, hey? Like, you're making it more awkward. And like, maybe mentioning it briefly in passing, like one time. Like, sure, like, I'm sure the thought has come up, but to like bring it up every time, Alan, what are you doing? But to like specifically bring attention to it when you're all hanging out, like, Alan, relax. I get how that can get awkward, but at the end of the day, no one's entitled to be like part of the bridal party. That is the choice of the people getting married. And this would probably depend on the situation, but you know, it's one thing to like ask, be like, hey, you ever thought about me? But to do it in a polite way, not be like, hey, you should do this. Like, no. To answer the poll of the title, Alan's being weird. So far, so okay with OP and the bride. I feel like they're both acting like fairly reasonably, you know, just in the thick of planning. I appreciate that Emma's like, no, Alan, relax. For my wedding, I asked my sisters to be the bridesmaids. I wanted the bridal party to be people I was really close with. Emma said she understood and didn't care. I went with Emma and her mom and aunt, as well as her former matron of honor, Kayla, to go pick out her dress. It was very awkward. Oh dear. Emma's mom kept asking about my wedding and what I had planned, and she kept telling Emma about how she should do something similar. Yikes. Read the room, Mom. Because I see that as a similar thing with the Alan problem. Like, mentioning it in passing, because it's, yeah, duh, it's gonna make you think about your own wedding planning. And like, mentioning it briefly, I think is fine. And even talking about it while being tasteful. Which it seems like Mom is not doing, which is unfortunate. Because like, it shouldn't be the other direction either. It shouldn't be one or the other. Like, talk about it constantly or not talk about it at all, because that doesn't feel appropriate. Either direction, but you know, appropriate discussion. That's fine. But I hope you trying to bring it back to it being about Emma's day was successful, like what OP says. So I tried to bring it back to her wedding and said that whatever Emma wants to do is what she should do. Completely agree. So far, both OP and Emma are doing fine. I feel like you're being pretty respectful. I hope that continues. I'm afraid it won't. Still a lot to read. But so far, Emma's doing fine, I think. The rest of the day was spent looking for a dress. Emma had seemed to be trying to avoid me the whole time. Ooh. It seemed very high schoolish in the way that her and Kayla snuck off to look at dresses and completely avoided any dresses that I pointed out. Well, that's disappointing. You lost a point, Emma. Don't be a mean girl, whether intentionally or not. Because as always, I hope it's the case of just like, oh, she's just busy having fun. Maybe she feels a little closer to Kayla. And so potentially she doesn't mean to be like leaving you out, but if she is, naughty. I had this thought the other day. Like, we could have someone's being a good gremlin or a grumpy gremlin. Like, have the G's, or just good gremlin and naughty gremlin. So every time someone's not doing so great behavior, be like, grumpy gremlin. Stop that. Keep it on theme, you know? So far, Emma was doing pretty good. Now she's just making my eye twitch just a little. Come on. Don't disappoint me. Don't disappoint Mama Gremlin. As this 4'9" woman says. I feel like anytime I try to be intimidating, I just look like a dork. Because that's sure gonna be goofy when when I have my own kids, and hopefully they'll be taller than me. They won't inherit my curse. Nah, I'm just kidding. But like, I'm trying to discipline them and I'm looking up at them. Like, go to your room. Okay, anyway. Rabid squirrel is at it again. Yeah, if that's true, you know, if she was intentionally like avoiding any suggestions you made, that's hurtful. That hurts. Emma had shown me pictures of what she wanted, and I wasn't straying far from those pictures. I even asked one of the employees if they had the dress Emma was really wanting, but when I did, Emma just brushed it off like she did some of the other ones in the shop more. Wait, she brushed it off like she liked some of the other ones in the shop more. Reading's hard. She had talked about a specific dress for almost 2 months straight. Emma found the dress. She looked amazing in it. Could you imagine if it was like you pointed it out? Like, let's take the scenario that she is really being petty with you. You point out the very dress and she's like, nah. Kayla does, or her mom, or whoever does, and she's like, oh, it's the one! You're just back there doing the Mike Wazowski. She looked amazing in it. For Emma's shoes, she was wanting to do a sparkly. Call me Edward Cullen. I just got the image. She's wearing the dress, and she has Alan on her back, and they're doing the hold on spider monkey. She's crawling up the tree in her dress. That would be so funny. For Emma's shoes, she was wanting to do sparkly white shoes for her and green for the bridesmaids. Yeah, that could look nice. It's booger green. Because you know what's a pretty green? It's like a dark, like forest green. Oh, so pretty. I showed Emma a pair of shoes that one of the stores had, white and very sparkly. Emma looked at me and said, they are really pretty, but you are not going to be wearing them. I actually like held my breath for a second. That's painful. What? Huh? Took another one of your noodle stars away, ma'am. Naughty. We only accept good gremlin behavior here. Stop that. Wow, really? Ow. Ugh. I like feel... dude, I've like felt my stomach drop. That is horrifying. Like, imagine being told that like in front of everybody when that's literally not what you're doing. Oh no. We drove an awkward 2 hours back to her house together and went our separate ways. Right, googly boogly. Emma and Alan got invited to my wedding, and I talked to them for a little bit, but it was mostly about how she was taking notes for her wedding. I mean, if that's said in like the jokey, like, you know, you say that like, oh, like, give me some good ideas. Like if it's, there's a word. If it's, like lighthearted, you know? She means it seriously. She has a whole little notebook just walking around, just like writing notes down. She came dressed as Clouseau, which, no offense, but I'm wanting to enjoy my wedding and not focus on anything else, so I kept the conversation short. And that's the thing, if it was just kind of like a joke, like in passing, sure, but if it's, well, just by the sentence alone, like if, like I'm wanting to enjoy my wedding, like, was it being brought up a lot? Because same thing at the dress shop. Like, keep it, you know, time and place. They left after dinner and missed the dance because they had brought their elderly dog with them and wanted to go check on him at the hotel. Which is no problem because I also have 2 dogs, so I understood. My wedding was over, so now I focused on my time on Emma's bridal shower and bachelorette party. As you said that, hey, like I gotta get through mine first. For the bridal shower, Emma made a group on Snapchat with me and Kayla to do the planning on. I started asking questions and Kayla said she wanted to plan it and that if she needed anything, she would ask. That seems contradictory. So what happened to Kayla cannot plan it? Well, yeah, because aren't you even the new matron of honor? Yeah. Which is fine if you want to change back to that, but let me know. Please communicate with me. Well, a few weeks later, Anna's aunt is asking about the plans and wants to help. I tell her that Kayla wants to plan it, so I wasn't sure what the plan was. So I messaged Kayla, doing the Spider-Man pointing. I don't know what's happening. Do you know what's happening? I'm just here. So I messaged Kayla, asked if she needed help with anything, and she said she didn't have the funds, so she couldn't plan anything. Oh, that's a big problem. Couldn't plan anything? I mean, I get, if you mean specifically about the things you wanted to plan, but you can't afford it. I mean, unless there's other ways we can figure it out, like people can, pay part of it or whatever. Like, you can just plan something else. Like, there are cheaper ways to go have fun. You know, it's okay. But yeah, that's a pretty big roadblock. Imagine hey, do you need help with anything? She's like, I can't do anything. You're like, oh. I offered to help pay for the bridal shower so she could still be involved in planning. I then had a conversation with Emma about what she wanted. Emma had started planning the bridal shower and was upset with me for taking too long to plan it. Oh no, not the miscommunication. This is why conversations are good. Figure out who is planning it. And, you know, benefit of the doubt of like, if different people had different understandings, and in the moment where it's stressful, totally cool to be frustrated and be like, okay, let's all take a breath. Let's all like have a meeting. Everyone hop on the chat, or let's get some lunch and figure this out. But even then, maybe don't be rude. I apologized and said that I thought Kayla was planning it. Emma's aunt and I took Emma's ideas and paid and planned for the rest of the bridal shower. Kayla said she wanted to do a balloon arc, so I paid for it. I knew Kayla was someone special to Emma, so I wanted to make sure she was involved if she wanted to be. Kayla ended up not showing up to the bridal shower? What? Not showing up? Ma'am? Well, that's something. That was a choice. That sure was the choice of all time. She told Emma she would be there, but didn't say anything to me about not being able to do the balloon arch. Oh dear. Which I would not have bought if she wasn't going to be able to be there. Like, oh. Unless you like just left this out, like just didn't go and didn't say anything? That's concerning. And if emergency happened, okay, that happens. But communicate. As much as you can. As for the bachelorette party, the bridesmaids wanted to do it the night of the bridal shower. Everyone was from out of town and did not want to have to make a separate trip. All the bridesmaids also brought up money concerns. Any idea I had was too expensive, so I told them I was open to any ideas. Emma had made a few suggestions as well, but no one wanted to help pay for these ideas either. Or they had kids, so they couldn't go. Also, all the ideas Emma suggested were either expensive or she did not have a cost estimate. Nothing got planned. Great. Well, like I was saying before, if you're wanting to do an expensive thing, but can't afford it, like, you gotta figure something else out. Or take more time and save up. I totally understand there's a lot in motion with everything wedding related, but like, if you can't do it, then you can't do it. Just, you gotta figure something else out. And that's a bummer that just nothing ended up get planned. Which would be another story if like she just didn't want to. Or everyone was kind of like, yeah, whatever, like, we'll just hang out. Like, we don't have to do a specific thing. Like, that would be a different story. But if it's just like, they still, you all still want to do something, but just nothing came of it.
That's rough, buddy.
Day of the bridal shower / bachelorette. The bridal shower goes smoothly, but the bachelorette turned into a very simple spa night. Which is great! A spa night? That sounds wonderful. All the bridesmaids have driven up the night or day before and were too exhausted to do anything other than a spa night and go to bed. That sounds great. You just have a spa night with your girlfriends? It doesn't have to be expensive to be nice. For the spa supplies, I still paid for everything for it for everyone. We ended up having a movie and spa night at Emma's house. I thought that was the end of the bachelorette party. They do a whole initiation. They dump water on you and do a ritual. Also, the whole time during the bridal shower and bachelorette party, the bridesmaids were trauma dumping. The 3 that showed up anyways. I am not one to share my trauma with complete strangers, but I guess that's just me in this group. You know, different people have different comforts, but if you are not comfortable with sharing, like, your traumas, your feelings, like getting real deep with it, you don't have to. I didn't share much, which may have made them feel like I was judging, but I simply was just very uncomfortable, which, oh, I'm sorry you felt uncomfortable, because no one should be made to feel that they have to share things. Like, you don't need to feel pressured into like sharing things you're uncomfortable with. I'm sorry that they made you uncomfortable. That's grumpy gremlin. A couple weeks before Emma's wedding, she asked if her and I could do a spa day at my house. Or spa night. I said sure, thinking it would be nice to get a little one-on-one time with her and to just relax. She asked if she could bring her dogs, one that is very elderly and leaks, so he needs a diaper. He always has one at their house, and a second one that they had just adopted from the shelter. Since I have 2 dogs, I thought it would be good if we meet in a neutral place so that we can see if the dogs get along. She agrees to meeting at the dog park. Day comes for her to come over, and she tells me she's running behind. I told her to let me know when she's leaving so I can meet her at the dog park. Surprise! She shows up at my house and brings both of our dogs straight inside. Doing some squats to cope. Imagine if squatting was your coping mechanism. Just breathe. Breathe! That's OP's coping mechanism. She's doing it at the door. Emma slowly backs away like, I'm just gonna go home. Yeah, that's a little rude. One of my dogs opted to not like her 1-year-old puppy, so she got kenneled. No injuries, just a growl. My other dog was super excited to have new friends. She goes to sniff the older dog. This is when Emma decides to tell me that her older dog doesn't like other dogs in his space. That would have been useful information. And if you knew that, you could have gotten a friend or a dog sitter. Like, there were other ways. Also, he is not wearing a diaper and is just leaking urine everywhere he goes. Where's the diaper? Well, that's rude. That's rude. He tried to bite my dog, but thankfully was too old and slow to get her. We get settled in and order pizza. I'm finally getting comfortable talking to her when her 1-year-old dog decides to pee on my dog kennel. Come on! The one where my dog is in because she didn't like him. Also, I have carpet floor for when he decided to pee. Ugh. Emma looks at me and says, oh yeah, he's not fully potty trained, but he probably doesn't need to go outside since he just emptied his bladder. She sat in her seat watching me clean up her dog's mess and just talked about how her dogs were just so sweet. Rude! Naughty gremlin. That is so rude. To like not, oh my gosh, it just, there's layers to it. Layers to the onion of rudeness. To know that your dog doesn't like other dogs, bring him anyway. Understand that he needs a diaper, but not put the diaper on, and not even apologize for leaking. And then when the younger dog pees, you let the host clean it? Are you nuts? That is very poor etiquette. I am sorry. It comes to a certain point, man. Like, little things here and there, if a person really doesn't mean to be rude, or is even like clueless about it, like giving her benefit of the doubt, like if she's just clueless, that's a reason but not an excuse. Even if you do mean it, again, I don't know why you would want to intentionally be rude. It's still your responsibility to be a courteous human. That includes cleaning up your and your household's messes. Dogs are part of the household, especially when you're at someone else's house. Good glory. This is not the spa night I wanted. She's like, don't worry, the dog's pee is just aromatherapy. That is, come on. That is poor house guest etiquette. Her dog also later peed randomly in my kitchen. Same response. I ended up going to her house with her to hang out a little bit more. I jokingly said it would be fun. She took it literally. Alan is there, and this time he'd asked about when we were having Emma's bachelorette party. Emma said we already had it and that we left it at that. I was pretty uncomfortable at this point and I made an excuse and left early. Like I got a thing. I've got a squatting on the way out. I'm just gonna go. You guys enjoy your night. I'm just gonna, goodbye. When the day comes for the rehearsal dinner, everyone went to their house, Emma and Alan's, for dinner. Emma's soon-to-be sister-in-law comes in with her 4 kids. One is just old enough to walk but not talk. No walking and talking. Emma's 1-year-old dog tries to jump on him, but sister-in-law catches him before he does. The dog runs off and so does the little kid. Then we hear the kid cry. The dog had jumped on him, pushing him down a flight of carpeted steps? Whoa. Discipline your dog. Come on. Especially when a little baby gets hurt. Multiple people are saying the dog needs to be kenneled, and one of the groomsmen finally gets the dog and kennels him. The kid is okay. Good. Emma then comes up from the stairs and walks over to us bridesmaids and starts saying mean things about sister-in-law. Yes. Talking about how it isn't her dog's fault she couldn't watch her kid, and she's not a good mother for not watching her kid. It's about to be my coping mechanism too. Man, getting a whole workout in this. Really? Yeah, the kid walking through the door and the dog jumping on him all happened in a matter of seconds. Like, things go quick. At least take responsibility for your dog. Are you kidding me? Rude. This dog was also going around nibbling people's hands and jumping on everyone else before sister-in-law showed up. And again, I get that like when dogs are young or old, like it's a struggle to like get them to behave, but it's still your job. It's still your responsibility. If it's really going to be that much of an issue, you got to put the dog in the other room during your, what was this, a party? Any kind of get-together. Like, be mindful of people. Come on. I've given benefit of the doubt long enough. That sister-in-law comment. Like, seriously? You don't feel bad about your dog jumping on a kid? An officially brand grumpy gremlin. Finally, wedding day rolls around. Emma, the maid of honor, and I all have breakfast together. Emma avoided having a conversation with me. He's just like staring her straight in the eyes like, say something. Well, avoided talking to me the whole time, and that continues the rest of the night. We are getting ready, getting our hair and makeup done. Emma starts talking about how she had been $4,000 short on paying for the venue, so she had to get a credit card to pay for it. Okay, that was probably not the best choice of venue. Because I think I've said this before too. I mean, going along with what I said before, like, if you can't afford it in whatever way possible, whether it's you paying for it or like other people paying for or helping pay for it, like some combination, you either need to wait and save up or do something else. It doesn't have to be crazy expensive for it to be nice. And I can understand if it's like your dream venue, like it's super important to you, like, okay, same thing. Like you just, she starts talking about how her soon-to-be mother-in-law and father-in-law told her that they would not pay the $4,000 after she asked them to. They told her instead of going on a fancy honeymoon, she should pay the venue off. Emma was very upset they had told her that and went on a rant about how it was her life and they couldn't tell her what to do. Indeed. So then make decisions that truly work for you. You can't have it both ways. You can't say, can't tell me what to do. And also in the same breath, want people to like pay something like for you or do something for you. This is when everyone, Bridesmaids 3 and some random lady that loosely knows Emma start talking about all their traumas again. Oh no, please, not again. Because again, like it's people talking about their feelings. Great. I mean, we obviously encourage that here, but time and place, and not everyone has to share everything. There is an appropriate time and place to do that. I'm trying to avoid the conversation, so I keep busy scrolling on my phone. At one point, I look up and the hairdresser and I make eye contact. She's like, yup. The hairdresser gave me a look about how crazy everyone was. The trauma talk went on for 3 to 4 hours. Oh. Hey, at least you had some solidarity there. It's like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with talking about your feelings, your experiences. Yes, but time and place. And that would be an awkward situation for everybody. Like if most of the group like wants to like really get deep and talk about stuff, but then there's like 1 or 2 people who are like not into that, like don't be rude, include them. Like maybe talk about something else. Like talk about lighter-hearted things. Especially for 3 to 4 hours, like when you're getting to that point where you're just talking and talking and you're not including, like it, I feel like especially after that long of time, it's very obvious that the person is not into this conversation. And they're meant to be there to hang out with you and make connection with you. There are other ways to make connections than only talk about trauma. Like be mindful of people. I think the hairdresser was ready to leave at this point. She was like, oh wait, I know way too much information now. We finally get done with hair and makeup and Emma gets into her dress and we start to head to get in place for the ceremony. Emma turns around and tells one of the bridesmaids that they're in charge of bustling her dress. Ooh, yeah, read that first part of the next sentence. And I and the maid of honor had practiced and taken time to help her figure it out the night before. So I was a little shocked that she asked someone who hadn't seen how to bustle the dress and to bustle it. Like, you sure? Probably most dresses are like this, like you button it up in a certain way. Well, mine wasn't like that. Oh well. I remember during dancing, I literally had to kick around my dress because we were outside in the grass, and so I was literally kicking my train. It was pretty funny. I have pictures. Maybe I'll put one. And I'm laughing like a maniac. Yeah, that's a little odd. Like, why? They just put it into a ball. They're like, you're a bunny now. Hop hop, bestie. Before we know it, the ceremony is over. Finally. We take the photos and the reception starts. There was food and a dance. Everyone ate and then the dance started. I went up to the dance floor with Emma and 2 other bridesmaids to dance. It was awkward. I was the odd man out, and the 3 of them grouped together and would not let me join their group. Come on, it's not high school. Again, there's nothing wrong with wanting to have fun with the people you feel close with, but like, stop excluding the other member of the party. It was also just us 4 up there dancing, no one else. Where's the groom? Where's Alan?
Alan!
I mean, if it's like a girls' dance, sure, but like, huh? After the song was over, I went and sat down. I tried to avoid any more dancing, but I was asked to go up again by a bridesmaid. I did, but same thing happened. I figured I would just try to avoid dancing, but the maid of honor kept asking me to dance. They're just like making eye contact with you, doing the Macarena. That's your signal. They're glaring at you. You better get on this dance floor. Imagine everyone starts doing that, the whole party, just staring at you, doing the Macarena. Menacingly. I would be terrified. I would leave. I went up for one more dance and the same thing happened, so this time I decided I would just congratulate them on getting married and leave. The next morning, Emma posted about how much she appreciated everyone coming out to support them and their new chapter. Along with the post, she added pictures with her now husband and an individual picture with all the bridesmaids, except me. Why? Especially with how good of a friend you seem to try to be. I'm not sure what to do. I just want to block her and everything, but I don't know if this whole experience warranted me cutting her out of my life. What are your thoughts? Many! That was a doozy. Appreciate all the detail. All of these experiences, like especially reading them out, she doesn't seem to really value being a good friend, unfortunately. Grumpy Gremlin, we're gonna get a stamp. Put it right on her forehead. Like, come on, be better than this. That is a shame. Yeah, in my opinion, she's not being a very good friend. And you deserve better than that, especially the ways where you seem to try to, like, to be a good friend and be a good human, you know? So just all those little things, just really revealing, like, how that kind of experience is like, if you don't like me, just tell me so I can move on. Just be upfront with me. Because in my opinion, it seems like her and the rest of her friends just don't seem to like you, which, like, no one has to like anyone. So don't include them in your wedding party. That sounds like a nightmare. Like, I don't know if, like, the hard cutoff, but maybe, like start distancing, especially, dude, all the, like, little comments, all the, like, disrespecting you in your own home, and I don't know, man, just the way they all just cut you off consistently and get a taste of their own medicine. I would love to give you a hug. Yeah, I don't know if it's, like, a hard cutoff, but, like, maybe distance yourself from that friendship. They and she really don't seem to value you. If you want to, like, still give the friendship a chance, like, try communicating, like, as honestly and authentically as you can. Be like, hey, these things that you did and said hurt me. And hopefully she'd be receptive. But if you choose out of that conversation and she's not receptive, then even more so, like, probably distance yourself from that. Either way, man, I hope you have better friends than that. You deserve that. Like, everyone deserves that. Everyone deserves good friends. I'm glad she feels close with those people, but then again, it's like, it's not a mean girl behavior. Like, if your friendship is based on being, like, overtly mean to people like that, yeesh, I'd recommend better friends for her, too. The Gremlin Queen deems her naughty gremlin, or grumpy gremlin, I don't know which one I want to do. And I deem thee as good gremlin, because you seem like you're just doing your best. Please look after yourself. Give yourself a hug from me and all of us. The sleepover will envelop you in love. You deserve better than that. And hopefully she heals. Good glory. As we always say, feelings are valid, mistreating people is not. And if there's something or things going on in her life that's causing her to mistreat OP and others in her life, bummer. Please go to therapy, genuinely. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm in therapy. Therapy's great. So anyway, latest rant on that. Please look after yourselves and don't let other people treat you like this. Communicate where you can. Stand up for yourself where you can. Don't let people who don't deserve your time and energy suck the life out of you. I don't really have time to read anything else. It's already so long as it is. So I'll probably just put in a feel-good meme. And then the comment of the video is a new gremlin. This is by Bees Are Poggers 1234. I love that name. And they said, this is my first impression of you and I love it. You're literally my brain as a person, aka a gremlin, def subbing. I am so glad you're here. Putting a big old spotlight on you. Congratulations, you are now trapped in the sleepover. Yeah, I hope you enjoy being here. Okay, everybody. This might be a new yap record, because the last one was that one, like, saga with, like, wedding invites. I'll link that above, because that was a really good video. I really enjoyed that one. This might be a new record. I'm not sorry. I hope you're doing well, but if not, I hope this video has brightened your day at least a little bit. It has certainly brightened mine. These are always so fascinating to read and enjoyable, especially when you interact with me in, like, the comments and stuff. But yeah, that is finally gonna be it. Remember, feelings are valid, but don't use those to mistreat people. Come on, be a good human. And sometimes tough feelings get the better of us and maybe we take it out on people. And that's okay too, as long as you take accountability for it and try to be better. As I hope Emma did. Also, excuse the very nasally sounding voice, at least I think it sounds nasally, because I got back from my vacation and then I got sick. Because the gods of YouTube spat on me. But we persevere. None shall stop the sleepover, even the sickness. Which actually Yep. I actually have a sick story video. You should go watch it, it's fun. And again, apologies for if my voice sounds weird to you. And anyway, hopefully you can enjoy this anyhow. This is, I fired my maid of honor 1 month before the wedding and need to tell the story. We need to hear it. Share the tea. Share the tea. That's our official chant. That is the Gremlin Sleepover's official chant. We're all in a circle chanting that over and over again. I got married in October, spooky season, and I just need to let this out. My therapist thinks it'll be cathartic. I love that. Imagine saying, like, I'm thinking about just, you know, venting about it on Reddit, and your therapist goes, do it. Yes. Yes. That's wonderful. That makes me smile more than anything for some reason. The Gremlin Queen approves this message. And yes, I am talking about Cappy Barbara over there. I'm just the court jester. She's the true ruler here. Yeah, but you got married in spooky season. That is why it got spooky, because you were cursed. Let's set the stage. This will be long. Wonderful. The players are me. Players. Choose your players. That's right, this is Mortal Kombat now. The players are me, 30 female, my now husband, 29 male, and my ex-best friend, 32 female, and her boyfriend, 29 male. We got 4 players. We're playing sorry, and everyone's out for blood. No apologies here. That's probably not that far off. On to the story. Yes? Everything started off very normal. When I got engaged to my now husband, it was such a fun day. My best friend, at the time anyway, I'll call her M. Moriarty? She might be acting like Moriarty. And her boyfriend of 11 years, important detail for later. Ominous. Drove me to all the spots for a scavenger hunt. I thought that said sports. Drove me to all the sports games. Yes, every single one. It was hell. After I said yes, we'd go to my engagement party. Awesome day, so much fun. Immediately, I asked M to be my maid of honor. It was an obvious choice. We'd been best friends for 15 years, right? Who else? I'm nervous. Well, originally it should have been my cousin, but we lost her tragically in 2023. I'm sorry to hear that. And so yeah, M it was. When the planning first kicked off, literally we grabbed a football and everything. She offered to be the planner because it's an industry she wanted to be in. I wanted to be supportive and was like, hell yes, you're gonna be helping me anyway. Can you tell I'm getting back into things? Until she asked for $3,000. My eyes are going blurry. Blurry with all that money being thrown in my face. Just gonna quickly dissociate here for a second. What do you mean? I'm sure that's how she felt. For a job she'd never done before and had no experience in. Oh, we're swinging it hot. That's not even a phrase. We're swinging it hot. That tea is being slung all over our face. It's piping hot. Yeah, that's a tea. Is piping hot. Yeah, might be skipping a few steps there, sis. I was, of course, going to pay her something, but not $3,000 freaking dollars. You out of your mind? The closest thing to the wedding industry she did work in was sales associate at David's Bridal. That's a bit different than wedding planner. Yes. Also not the first time she's tried to make money off me, but I digress. What? You can't just drop that lore and expect me not to ask questions. What do you mean? That was a hard no. But I told her gently. Uh-huh. And what happened next? And just as my mom has a friend who's an event planner and my mom wanted to go with her, we moved on. Oh boy. I have a bad feeling about this, gang. Go get the mystery machine. We gotta go solve something. Other weird things that happened. Visibly disappointed that I didn't pick the dress she wanted me to wear. Okay, not me already trying to be nice. Because like I always say, it's valid to like have a suggestion, you want someone to take your suggestion, and it feels good and everything, but it's her choice at the end of the day. She called me a bridezilla over my color scheme, said I was too specific. It was a fall wedding. Fall colors. Terracotta, reds, emerald green, etc. F her, my pictures look stunning. I think I've read stories before where like people get really, really picky about like color scheme or like specific things you gotta wear. I feel like that's a sliding scale. I think it really depends, but if it's simply just fall colors, I don't think that's bridezilla behavior. Also, every time I see emerald, I just think of Minecraft. Someone just shows up wearing a villager costume, but they're wearing emerald. It's the emerald, their whole thing. They want to trade you for something. Tried to guilt me into wearing her pearls for my something borrowed. Ah, she's the Minecraft villager. Yeah, that's interesting. Try to guilt you into it, because it's like the dress. It's like, it's one thing to suggest an idea, but it's another to like then hold it against them when they don't want to go with your idea. Newsflash! You're not the only decision maker. Apparently to some people that is a newsflash, which is unfortunate. But hey, weddings are one of those just litmus tests of how many toxic behaviors does one have. Because for some reason, those are one of those events where you will find out. Which is kind of a blessing and a curse, because it sucks in the moment, but then it really shows like who really cares about you and all that. The ultimate social experiment. At my first fitting, she barely let me say anything to my seamstress because she was talking about her time as a dress designer at David's Bridal. I mean, I don't know how it works at David's Bridal, but I'm not sure dress designer is the same thing as sales associate. If anything, you'd be like a stylist, you know, because you have stuff that's already made. Interesting. Why we fibbing, friend? Why the fibs? The fib fab. Fibbing ain't fab. Anytime I tried to talk about the wedding in a group setting, she would make a dig at her boyfriend for not being engaged yet. Every single time. Whoa. Again, it's fine to have feelings. It's not so fine to just insert yourself in every little moment. Assuming this is true. We don't know. We weren't there. Ah, there's no need to be a nincompoop. I ignored my mom for 2 straight weeks when she was asking Em for help with the bridal shower. Never helped with that either. Well, keep in mind, she's the maid of honor. Yopi is like, they better not call me at your next job interview for a reference because I'll tell them exactly what happened. Made me a full 30 minutes late to my bridal shower. Ugh. Bring her to the venue to show her around, meet with my planner and the caterer there to start organizing things. She interrupted them to talk about her sister's wedding. 3 times. She didn't plan that one either, so I never understood that. And again, we weren't there. Maybe she just was, you know, connecting her experience with that one and bringing it into this one. But it could very well be the pettiness, unfortunately. Same day at the venue, knowing my planner is my mom's church friend, she would not stop bringing up that we should hire a witch on Etsy to ensure good weather, making my planner visibly uncomfortable. Interesting. Yeah, I love a good witch. I get down with the witch vibes, but there's a time and a place, and it is not now. Exactly what I was just thinking. Madam, what's going on? It almost feels like ever since the OP said no to, what was it? Like, Em wanting to, well, yeah, like, be the planner, but then asked for a bunch of money, to which OP, as far as we can see, like, gently declined. Now there seems to be a pattern forming to be as difficult as possible. If that's true, that's a bunch of hogwash. No! Is this pish-posh, madam? There's also the weekend I had a severe panic attack and had to leave my job early. Ugh, those are the worst. I'm so sorry. The time before this that I had a panic attack and kept it to myself, and she was mad I didn't call her so she could be there for me. I'm sorry, like, I'm both sorry for laughing, but, like, it's to cope with my pain. What do you mean? Like, sure, being frustrated you couldn't be there for someone, but then proceeding to get mad at them? That doesn't tell you anything about how you're responding to this, to why they wouldn't want to call you. Like, if you're just going to get mad at them, that's probably not going to help a panic attack. That's befuddling. What do you mean you got mad at her? That's so interesting. What in the mental gymnastics? We'd get gold in those Olympics. Like, if each person had a wine correlated to their clear, like, insecurity, and you see how much is age, like, long enough to be very entitled. It's like, age just enough to be entitled to my panic attacks. That's a new one. I have not. It's like the longer I sit with it, the more it just is shocking me. Just like, that's the interesting thing with Em. It's like every valid feeling of like frustration that comes out of these situations, whether at the wedding or like wanting to be there for someone with a panic attack. It's like, those are pretty normal feelings, but just then taking the step forward of like going at what seems to be going out of her way to like make it OP's problem even further. Because even the panic attack thing, it's like, I can understand that frustration. Like maybe even a little bit like being upset, like thinking of it this way, like it could be the case that it's the kind of like quote unquote mad at her because I'm really twisting my brain here to like try to understand, like, yeah, being upset that someone was having a hard time and that you like feel sad that they didn't reach out to you, and that could like cross into anger. But it's the crossing into anger thing. It feels like I'm trying to like wring my brain like a towel and trying to squeeze out the understanding. You know what I mean? It's like I get it, but it's also like just veering into that, like then getting angry at the person who's already like struggling. Like how? Because it would make more sense to me if it was like mad at the situation, like getting mad at them. You know, trying to picture like Like, how could you not tell me? You know, if it's the anger is coming from like being so upset that they had a panic attack, you know, I can kind of see that, but then the result is then that they are berating that person who was just having a really hard time. Maybe not the best way to handle that. Yeah, I feel like I've talked in circles for the last few minutes. I feel like I'm going in circles because I'm trying to understand the kind of anger that comes from not being able to be there for someone. I feel like I have felt that kind of like almost rage before, like being so upset that I couldn't be there for them, but like I'm not mad at them. And then even the ways where I'd be like mad, like quote unquote mad at them is for like choosing not to reach out to me when they knew I could be helpful. But it sounds like OP knew that this person wouldn't be helpful, so that's why she didn't contact her. I don't know why I keep trying. Like, it's that pesky empathy in me. Like, I don't know, I'm trying to give that benefit of the doubt that it's like anger at the situation. But maybe like wires got crossed, but you never know. I don't know. Because that's the other thing too, is that the pattern of all these other things of M just making everything difficult for OP, it's like, and I need to keep going. I have this really bad one and she ignored me for 3 days. Oh, to the point that I was worried about her. First of all, I am sorry that you struggle with the panic attacks. That really sucks. Those are horrible. If I'm understanding this right, you then gave her a chance and then she ignored you? It's fine. It's fine. I love putting myself in these moments where I try to understand so much and then I could just keep reading and basically get my answer. So now we come to the final blow, my bachelorette trip. It's always the bachelorette trip. But again, double-edged sword. Like it's horrible to go through things like that, but at least you learn who actually really cares about you. Kind of the nice thing about perspective. There are ways you can see those silver linings, you know? That's what I try to do anyway. Em was a stay-at-home mom. No income at all, no shade, that's just the truth. Her child is 10. I talked to my other girls about how it's important to me that she comes because she doesn't get to go anywhere. That's where it's sad because like here you are, like it seems to be that you're trying to like be thoughtful and then you have all this nonsense that she's doing on her side. Because that is true for a lot of moms, you know, they spend most, if not all, their time caring for their child, a very difficult thing to do. Motherhood should be paid. It's fine. So that, you know, it's harder to go anywhere. And so it's nice when you can have friends that try to prioritize that. But c'est la vie. With this, some of the girls throw down extra to cover her share? Wait, no. So nice, right? She thanks no one at all. I didn't find that out till after the trip. Ow. That hurts. That hurts. Wait, did she even go? I'm guessing she did. Oh, yikes. Not think. Because that's very generous of everybody to do that. Oh, gosh. Come on, M. Although when I read M, I just think of M from 007. Come on, M. So we go to Salem, Massachusetts. The witch is getting hitched. That's cute. A 3 to 4 hour drive from where most of us live. There are 6 girls total. 3 of us arrive Thursday. The other 3 come Friday. M and another bridesmaid come together. I'll call her T. M and T. T and M. Tim? Upon arrival, M is already pissed at T because she took forever to get on the road. And a few other comments. I'm like, it's cool, don't stress. I'll keep you guys separate for a few hours. It'll all be okay. Not you having to separate them like two cats that hate each other. We end up missing the boat tour that was booked, so I'm upset, but I brushed it off and was like, whatever, let's go shopping and pop around town. Yeah, good for you for still trying to like make the best of it. Things like that happen. It's okay. You know, things not going according to plan doesn't have to ruin your whole day. I know I try to live by that, as hard as it can be sometimes. Hashtag perfectionist. T wanted to go to Target. Meh. T wants to go to Target. So I asked another bridesmaid to go with her so M could chill. We keep it pushing. We go to dinner and have a good time there. Then we get ready to go to the bar. We have an immaculate time at the bar, but leave way earlier than I intended. So now it's like 1 a.m. That's earlier than you expected. That's pretty funny. I guess a lot of people stay out more until like 3 or something, you know? Ugh, we're all drunk, but not belligerent. I wanted to play a game before bed. One of the girls sets it up. Em and myself go upstairs to take off our makeup. Ooh, so we're drunk during this, huh? In a lot of cases, this is where the truth starts coming out. While we're upstairs, I tell Em something I'm going to do for the ceremony that we just decided that week. The Celtic knot hand fastening. Oh wait, I've heard of that. That's like, Yes, definitely this. I'll probably look up a picture of it. I've seen it before. I think it's like they wrap some kind of rope or cloth around. I'll verify that. She has visible tears in her eyes. I'm like, OMG, are you okay? What's wrong? After a back and forth about this, she finally tells me, I kid you not. Everyone ready? If you do that for your ceremony, then I can't do it at mine. People accuse me of copying you all the time, so if you do it first, it looks like that all over again. Oh no. No! The truth finally comes out. As is not surprising, it's some kind of insecurity. And listen, insecurity sucks. Like, lower self-esteem, especially when you compare yourself to other people. I completely understand that. It's hard to go through that and, like, learn how to value yourself as yourself and not compare. And then even if you do similar things as someone else, who cares? Who cares? It doesn't have to be that big a deal. And I'm not trying to say that in a way where it's like diminishing what you're struggling with, but really in the way of like, you know, don't let that stop you. But then it's another to not heal from that and just let it fester and let it ruin what could otherwise be great relationships. Come on! So yeah, it's like I both feel for her. I really do, that insecurity can really bring out the ugly in us. But there are tools available like therapy and like, I mean, just learning how to like bolster your self-esteem a bit more. And like those things don't have to matter as much. Because those things really do come out in weddings. That's why it's like fascinating. And it's also like, come on, it doesn't have to be one or the other. But yeah, it's another level to be like, you can't do that because I'm going to do that. Like, you both can do it. It's fine. Stop that. This is news to me. I'm shocked. And I look at her like, what? What are you talking about? Who is even saying that to you? And why would that matter? Does not every bride wear a veil? I mean, yeah, exactly. Like, who is even saying that? It really does not have to be one or the other. You can do a similar thing as someone, and it can be entirely, like, individual and unique. Because you know what the cool thing is? No one else can be you but you. And I mean that in the most literal way possible. So it's even simply being yourself, even if you're doing a similar thing as someone else, it's already completely unique because they cannot be you. Just like you cannot be them. But like, that's a good thing because everyone is truly individual in that aspect. I think that's a perspective about like how you view yourself that I actually really like. It's like, hey, no one else can be me. So anything I do is already unique because I'm me. The more you just embrace your weird little self, in some cases literally, the happier you can be because you free yourself from the shackles of comparison. I have a feeling we're not going to have that kind of reflection in this, which is why I encourage it. Around this time, the friend setting up the game, let's call her A. Amanda? Is it me? Plot twist, it was me. I was there. And I just blocked it out. Comes upstairs to tell us it's ready. But now I have a crying M and I'm spiraling, so I'm like, F that game. I need you to both come outside right now. We go, the other girls go to sleep. You know, and throughout this story, OP really gives me the impression that she tries to be conscientious of everyone and tries to have like an overall like positive attitude and stuff. Even in this moment, like M's like freaking out and it seems like your first thought was to like help her, and that's really sweet of you. And this is during your bachelorette trip. I tell M to tell A everything she said to me upstairs, and she does, but then adds in that I also wait, huh? Huh? Help. Oh no, oh no. Stole her first dance song, picked a dress that looks like something she designed. What is happening? What is happening? Shouldn't do a Celtic knot because I'm not even Irish like that. I am Irish. Shouldn't do that because, like, what? She's not Irish enough for you? She's literally Irish. Oh no, oh no. And then should give her grace because she's drunk. Are we signing a contract? What's going on here? You shall give me grace because I'm intoxicated. It says that in the fine print of the bridesmaid contract. Should always give me grace if I'm ever drunk. Even if everything I say is my true feelings. Disregard it. Haven't been with my fiance that long and doesn't understand why I'm rushing. I just said why really weird. Why I'm rushing. We have been together 4 years. Shorter than 11, but 4 years no less. Oh yeah, the whole 11 thing. So that was Oh. See, and this is where it always stinks that someone takes their insecurity of their own relationship as well and then projects it onto somebody else in some way, and it's like, hey, that's your thing, not mine. Like, I am sorry if you are frustrated with your relationship, but that's yours. I'm not responsible for that. Am ganging up on her with A, stole her dream wedding. What I'm saying sometimes. Being drunk will bring out the true feelings. Now, during this entire argument, I'm sobbing, crying my eyes out. I feel terrible. I had no idea she felt this way at all. I apologize profusely. You have nothing to apologize for. Your resentments are not your responsibility. No. Ugh, as a healing people pleaser, I get it. You seem to maybe a bit of a people pleaser here. So I'd probably be doing the same thing, and I may be a hypocrite, but doesn't make it any less true. You do not need to apologize for her own feelings. Mentioned nothing to me. She was being weird for months, but this? I never imagined this. Thinking back when I told her what song we picked, she was like, "Oh, that would have been my first dance song. That's awesome." Not the backhanded compliments. Very supportive, so I'm confused and dumbfounded. Come on. See, case in point. That could have been an opportunity where she chose to be vulnerable about this insecurity. And that doesn't mean you need to change the song. But that would have been a great opportunity for her to be like, hey, like, this is kind of bothering me. And then for you guys to talk about it and find and create healthy boundaries. Like, I understand how you feel. I am not going to change the song, but I understand that this is a difficult thing. You know, things like that. Like, And it's like, hopefully she'll figure that out, but that may need to be apart from you. Because sometimes that is healthier for some relationships. But sometimes for healing, some relationships need to end for both of you. Because yes, it must suck to be struggling this deeply with insecurity about yourself. That doesn't mean she gets to just throw it all at you when you're just trying to live your life, man. I hate stuff like that, when it's like a backhanded compliment. A told her to F off when she made the comment about the dress design, LOL, but then very quickly calms herself down to try and level with M. Try to tell her she understands her feelings, but she's directly taking them out on me. Thank you! A and I are in agreement. We could be the same person. Yes, A. We stand A. M says no, that's not what she's doing. LOL. That's exactly what you're doing. I offer to change everything. No. Pause. I'm hitting the pause button. Again, as a recovering people pleaser, I understand. Probably be doing similar things. But that doesn't change the truth. Please don't do that to yourself, and I hope she didn't. I said the dress and girls' dresses are the only things I can't change because they're already bought and we're 4 weeks out from the wedding. To this she says, no, you can't. It's too late. Girl. Yeah, this is not a very healthy relationship. It's not very healthy. This is not a healthy relationship, unfortunately. And then would go on to say that I give her anxiety. I forced her to tell me all this right now. Did I tell you some kind of truth serum? I did no such thing. She left her child for this. I really, really dislike when people try to use their children as, like, scapegoats. No. The queen disapproves. She didn't want to tell me all this because of how stressed I was, but now that I've forced her, she said that a lot. She was crying. I asked what's wrong. I didn't force her to do anything. Yeah, you really didn't. I'm glad you acknowledged that. It hurt her that I was blind to her feelings. How the F was I supposed to know all this was going on in her head? Yeah. That is not your responsibility. You cannot read her mind. This is why relationships are a two-way street. Yes, like, where it's appropriate, be conscientious of other people's feelings, but you gotta know what they are in the first place. Ooh, that makes me think of a thing I've seen recently that I really like. Unspoken expectations are premeditated resentments. How cool is that? That's so true. That's exactly what's happening here. And then even the expectations that M clearly had, not that communicating the expectations in the first place would have changed anything or really should change anything, but at least it would have created an opportunity to talk about it, to set some boundaries. I'm sorry you had to deal with this on your bachelorette party, trip, whatever you call it. Of all nights, come on. It's like, this is what she looks back on and remembers. You're like, I'm not a horse. I had no blinders on. I had blinders that you put on there. I still never got a clear answer on who tells her she copies me. Might be because that doesn't really happen. I think it's just her who tells herself that. It's like, I keep saying, I feel for you that you have insecurity that deep. That doesn't mean you get to take it out on OP, especially when they're feelings you've never communicated until now. We're in our 30s. I can't read minds. I like that you could read that and almost have it imply that we can read minds like in our 20s. It's an ability that cuts off at 29. This goes on until 5 a.m. Ugh, 1 to 5 a.m. this goes in circles with no real resolution or apology from her. Because of course not. Of course not. Why would we have peaceful resolution when we could just be a scallywag? We leave it at, we'll finish this talk when we get back home. It's awkward the next 2 days, but manageable. I keep my distance and just try to have a good time because, you know, it's my friggin' batch trip. Well, I'm proud of you for trying to set some kind of boundaries. That must have been really hard. Just uncomfortable. More nonsense happens, but this post is long enough. Sunday comes, M&T leave at 10 a.m. That's what the air quotes. They just astral project somewhere else, but they're technically still there. I could explain some things. Was M astral projecting the whole time? I mean, it'd probably feel like that if you get that drunk. Except they don't. Oh? I look at M's location at 12:30 and she's 20 minutes away from where I stood on Essex Street. Lying. Cute. Whatever. What are you doing? Making a shady deal to take out the competition? Maybe this really is M from 007, but she's evil. Important note that anytime in our 15 years of friendship when we had a problem, I pushed us to talk it out. I was not doing that this time. I've really had enough. That's pretty telling if you're the one who wanted to, like, talk it out and, like, initiated it every time. I get home Sunday night. All I hear from M is she dropped off my cooler off to my fiance. Monday, I drive past M and her BF in the town we live in, still hear nothing. Wait, like you drove past them, you make eye contact. Just like in Umbrella Academy. Tuesday comes, nothing. By this point, I have talked to my family, some other friends, and now my husband. 2 things above everything I learned stand out to me from those conversations. My mom told me she has felt M has been taking advantage of me for years. It sounds like it. And another bridesmaid who did not go on this trip but does know M, she tells me she's been worried about this exact thing happening on my wedding day. I'm dumbfounded. I ask why. She tells me she saw this coming from a mile away and tells me a few of her reasons. I'm blown away. Ugh. Because what's worse about, like, going through this is being blindsided by it. You can only imagine, like, not only having a friend, but, like, your best friend truly, like, I mean, hate you, really. Because it really seems like she hates you, and that sucks, because it's like there's no reason to. It's all really coming from her. Because you seem to be a sweetheart. And I don't know you. This is all coming from, like, what I'm reading, but if you were willing to change everything just from her, like, freaking out, and about your own wedding, I can only imagine how many times you, like, did that same thing on, like, different occasions. By Wednesday, I still hear nothing, but also I'm at the point where I don't even know if I can be this person's friend, let alone have her in my wedding. Boundaries, 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 boundaries. It's not only acting like this, like, not even just on the batch trip, like, this whole time, all these little, like, these little digs and stuff, and it sounds like people could tell for a long time that, like, she really wasn't your friend. She probably, like, genuinely doesn't deserve to be there, like, in the party or otherwise. Because you can't just act like that and then expect to still be in someone's life. And it's, dude, it's so, like, acting like this and then, still expecting to be in someone's life. Like, they're still entitled to it. Like, you don't have to be in this relationship. Like, if it's making you that unhappy, you don't need to be their friend anymore. It's okay. Like I said, some relationships are better, like, separate. And, you know, part of it too is, like, if they've been friends for that long, that's understandable. But, like, when it's that unhealthy, like, on either side, but even on M's side too, it's like, you don't have to be friends with the OP. On Monday, I wrote a long, detailed message and just sat on it. By Thursday morning, I'm like, why would I explain myself to someone who clearly hates me? So short and simply, I said something along the lines of, I haven't heard from you. I'm assuming you don't want to be part of the wedding anymore, and I think it's best you don't come. I don't care to have a conversation about this, as I feel enough time has passed. Enough time to have one has passed. Wish you well. Love you forever. Bye. Again, I don't know you, but, like, the way you've been trying to handle this at every turn seems the most non-Bridezilla, like, behavior I've ever read in my life. Like, at every, turn of cruelty and malice, like, you've just chosen to be the complete opposite. I really respect that. I just really feel for you that you've just been so deeply hurt by this person, but I'm very glad that you have been trying to, like, especially at this point, like, set healthy boundaries. I mean, I'm sure this has already happened by now, but like, set good boundaries and like, you know, don't let her hurt you anymore.
Good, good.
And the Palpatine of boundaries. Imagine that Palpatine just like genuinely encouraging you to be a good version of yourself. Yeah, I feel as sickly as him right now. Eesh. Hear nothing back. Then a whole week later, my grandpa dies. I'm so sorry for your loss. We were extremely close, and that sucked more than I can put into words. I miss him so hard every day. She sent me condolences. I said thank you. Interesting. A week after that, I post a carousel of selfies, just trying to feel good about myself. I caption it, sometimes it is about you, and that's okay. 1 hour later, I'm blocked on everything. Cool, whatever. You're like, God forbid I ever make anything about myself. Clearly unacceptable to M. Yep, this might just be a 007 plot and M was evil the whole time. You are 007 in this scenario. The amount of mental and emotional gymnastics you have to do is pretty on par with 007 pyrotechnics. Pyrotechnics? Doesn't that involve fire? Probably has felt like a ring of fire multiple times in this. Wedding goes off beautifully. Actual best day of my life. Good! And part of that was probably that person, it was good that they weren't there. I'm so glad that you were able to enjoy the actual day. Like, it's a bummer that the batch didn't work out in a lot of ways. I hope you still had fun, but like, I'm so glad that after all that, the wedding was just lovely. Yes, yes. A few things went wrong, but they were more funny than anything. Had another friend step up to take her place. I don't make anyone the new maid of honor, but instead pin my cousin's ashes to my bouquet so that she is next to me. It was beautiful. But now I'm left with a bunch of her stuff at my house. Oh. What? Did she live with you for a bit or something? Maybe. Maybe, like, I mean, they were friends for a long time, so I guess there's just random stuff here and there. Every so often, she just places little things that she haunts you forever. Fast forward to this past Saturday, I package up her stuff in a cute Christmas bag. I wrote a card that simply said, I didn't feel right keeping this stuff. Hope you're having a good holiday season. Again, you sound like a sweetheart. It is time for the sleepover to give you a hug. Come here. You are now an honorary Gremlin sleepover member. I feel like that's true for any person who... I feel like that's true for any OP in this series that is just the sweetest human ever. The sleepover envelops you with love. You have no choice. I love ominous positivity. That's one of my favorite things. Husband brings it to their house, runs into the boyfriend. My husband told me it was awkward, but fine. Husband tells boyfriend he's just dropping off some of M's stuff that we had. Boyfriend tells him to throw it out. Oh! Has someone else figured out that they needed boundaries from someone? He does in their own garbage can. Oof. Now they're subbing me on TikTok, insinuating I was a bad friend. What? Wait. I'm sorry? Oh. Huh? Wait. Were they trying to set your husband up? Like, oh, look, they're a bad friend because he threw our stuff away? Oh. Wait. I feel like there's every so often OP is saying these things and I'm like, what? I need more information. What do you mean? This story's a doozy. It's like on one hand, I guess they deserve each other, and on the other, it's a real shame that they might be enabling each other. Oof, if I'm understanding this correctly. I only know this because someone else still followed the boyfriend. All in all, I know I did the right thing. I tried my best. I would have done anything to make it better that night, but it's clear that it was never about me. Exactly. And that's such a theme, right? The narcissist always calls other people the narcissist. I'm the villain for stealing her wedding when homegirl is not engaged. It's sad because of our history, but it has been a peaceful few months without her. I'm sure some of the most peaceful you've had in the last 15 years, unfortunately. I'm glad you are having the peace now, even though it took a while to get there. I don't mind being the villain in her story because the people who actually matter know who I am. Exactly! But man, it was cathartic to write this all out. Thank you for reading, and I'd love to hear your input on your own MOH drama. Happy holidays. I almost said hoppy. You know, hoppy holidays. Happy holidays. Losing my mind. It's fine. Yeah, I forgot. Been reading for so long, I forgot that your therapist recommended you to do this. And I'm glad you did because, wow! People are pretty fascinating. Especially the more insecure that they are and like the more they're just like buried in by their own doing, frankly. It's always wonderful. Always. walrus. It's always wonderful to read these stories where, like, I'm sorry you go through that, but I'm also, like, thank you for the great example of, even if it takes a little while, like, learning how to set boundaries, and then even sometimes to walk away, because sometimes that's necessary, and that is okay. And you are not a bad person from having to walk away from an unhealthy situation or relationship. Very proud of you for doing that. Well done, 007. Saved the day again. But really, I think you really saved your day, and that's amazing. I'm so glad that your wedding day was able to still be wonderful. And it comes out of like a bittersweet, like having to, I mean, basically cut off that person was the best decision. But then because of that, the day was sweet. I think that kind of makes it a nice, like, feel-good finale in itself, even though this is just one story. And our own little saga here. To all my fellow people pleaser recoverers, I say words good. If you are in that journey, I am proud of you for how far you've come. Even if it doesn't feel like it sometimes, you're doing a great job and you have come so far. And keep going. You have so much more of life to live and experience and thrive in, and you're gonna get there. Whether it's in relationships or just your life in general. So, what a doozy of a one to jump right back into, Reaction Sleepover. Queen Capybara and I approve of this message. Really, it is. What a great demonstration of, sure, going through crappy things, but then coming out of it, but then coming out of the other side, like, in a way refreshed, and even going through those things, those really sucky things, like, they help you learn things that are valuable. Remember that you are valuable, and I'm so glad you're here. And again, you're doing great, even if it doesn't feel like it sometimes. So, we've recorded basically the length of a movie, but that was good. That was a great way to jump back into things. I almost forgot. Because I'm a heathen. Forgot about the Gremlin Spotlight. Hold on. I found the Gremlin Spotlight I wanted to do. Because it just makes me really smile. Because it's like, this is exactly what I want, you know? It's by our dear friend PocoMuses. And they said, this weary traveler is extra weary lately, but appreciates the content. I appreciate you! And the reminder to drink. Drink your water, you hooligan. I often forget to drink. Me too. D&D was mentioned. Yes, I've been officially corrupted. Have been for a while now. Have you made a character yet? I do not play D&D, but I always love hearing about other people's characters. The one I'm playing right now, I have a few, just like from a few different campaigns, but what I'm doing right now is a half-orc, and it's like a ranger type, and it's quite fun. I bonk stuff with a sword. Thank you as always for those Gremlin Spotlights, and thank you for being here. I appreciate you more than I can say. But the fact that I get to do regular Gremlin Spotlights, like I always have more than enough comments to do that. Like, in fact, I have a hard time picking, and that's such a lovely problem to have. And you make that possible, so thank you. All right, I'll go now. Oopsies! I hope you're doing well, but if not, I hope this video's brightened your day at least a little bit. As always, I really appreciate you. Thank you for being here and supporting this channel. And as always, and definitely want to put emphasis on this because of this story, take care of yourselves and each other. Do your best to be a good human, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! Ugh. Man, that one was crazy. I loved it. Gotta go recharge my brain cells now.